Amul is not just a brand, it is a part of our life. From morning tea to children's favorite butter, Amul has become a part of every home. But Amul is not just a name of taste. It is a mother and father for more than 36 lakh farmers, which gives them the real right to their hard work. By the way, the need to start this brand came because the farmers were so upset with the exploitation of companies like Paulson that they were forced to give their lives. But then how did a revolution start from the Anand village of Gujarat, which not only changed the fate of these farmers, but also gave a new identity to the whole of India? Today's video will also take you on the same revolutionary journey. And yes, have you heard the story of Amul girl? No, right? Then let's start everything. So friends, this story of Amul starts from the 1940s, when farmers in the villages of India used to sell their cow and buffalo milk and survive. The women used to get up in the morning, serve the animals, milk, and then the farmers would go to sell it. But the problem was that they could not get the right reward for their hard work because this whole business of milk was being controlled by contractors and middlemen. In fact, the farmers had no other option because the farmer had to sell the milk at any cost, otherwise it would go bad by the next day. And taking advantage of this, the middlemen used to buy milk at a very low price, which gave them a lot of profit. But then in the same time, that is, in 1945, the British government came up with the Bombay Milk Scheme, after which the farmers began to understand the fraud that was going on with them. Actually, under this scheme, milk was bought from the farmers and was pasteurized in the Anand city of Gujarat, which was in the Kaira district during the British period. Actually, what happens in the pasteurization process is that the milk is heated to a set temperature, and then it is quickly cooled, due to which the harmful bacteria present in the milk are eliminated, and then this milk can be stored for a longer period of time. Now, after completing this process in Anand city, milk had to be transported 427 kilometers away to Bombay, and its tender was given to Paulson Company. Actually, Paulson Company used to make products like butter and ghee from milk, which was used by British officers and the rich people of India. Now, the British government has taken full control of the milk production and distribution of Gujarat to Paulson Dairy. That's why the farmers had to sell milk to this company. The situation was so bad that if the market price was 5 rupees per liter, then the farmers had to sell milk at 1 rupee or 2 rupees per liter. This was a completely one-sided deal because the farmers neither had any negotiation power nor any other buyer. And friends, this exploitation did not end here. The farmers had to bear the cost of delivering their milk to the collection center, and if the quality was a little less, then the payment was not given. Due to which the condition of the farmers of the Kaira district was getting worse and worse, and many farmers were forced to commit suicide. Now, when these problems of the farmers increased beyond the limit, they got angry and they reached Tribhuvandas Patel with their complaint. Tribhuvandas Patel was a respected leader of Kaira district at that time, and he always raised his voice for the rights of the farmers. In such a situation, when the farmers put their problems in front of him, then he took them with him and reached the big leader of the Congress, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Actually, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was considered the messiah of the farmers. Now, even though he did not have any government post, but his words were heard all over the country. Even the British sweat from his name. Sardar Patel explained to the farmers that now the farmers will have to come together and form a cooperative committee. This meant that now the farmers will run their own dairy, they will collect and distribute the milk themselves, and there will be no middleman in this whole process. Due to which the entire profit will be distributed among the farmers. Sardar Patel also explained to them that if they work together, then they can bypass Paltan and send their milk directly to the milk division of Bombay. And then to complete this mission, he sent one of the big leaders of the Congress, Morarji Desai, to Kaita district. Yes, the same Morarji Desai, who later became the Prime Minister of India. Sardar Patel told Morarji that if needed, do not step back from getting strikes done for the farmers. And then in this way, the Kaira district, which was also known as Kaita, after coming there, Morarji Desai held a meeting in Samarka village on January 4, 1946, in which it was decided that a cooperative committee will be formed in every village of the district, and the farmers will sell their milk only to them. In fact, if any company or even the British government has to buy milk, then they will have to make an agreement with this committee, and if they do not do so, they will not get milk. Now, as everyone expected, the British government did not like this change of the farmers at all. They strictly refused to approve any such cooperative committee. But this time, the farmers had also decided that they would not tolerate this injustice. That is why they stopped the entire supply of milk during the strike. The British government also tried every possible way to crush this movement. False cases were filed against the farmers to intimidate them. But the unity of the farmers was so strong that they faced every threat. 15 days passed after the strike, and due to the stoppage of milk supply, the government's Bombay milk scheme started failing completely. Due to the heavy demand for milk, pressure on the British government increased, and finally they had to accept the conditions of the farmers. By the way, the farmers also suffered a lot during this time, but they kept their courage and won this protest. After this, on June 1946, the Cairo District Cooperative Milk Producers Union Limited was established, and 6 months later, that is, on December 19, 1946, it was formally registered. Notably by 1948, this cooperative committee had also started pasteurizing milk for the Bombay milk scheme. Tribhuvan Das Patel ensured that the benefit of this cooperative reached every farmer, irrespective of their caste, religion, or financial condition. To implement this vision in the right way, Tribhuvan Dasji designed a three-tier structure. First, a dairy cooperative was established in the village, where milk was collected and its quality was checked. Plant, which was not only India, but also the largest milk plant in Asia, because its daily capacity was to process 1 lakh liters of milk. Now, when it was decided that different types of dairy products will be made from the milk of the farmers in this cooperative, then a brand name was also needed to identify these products. And for this, the name Amul was selected. But the question arises, why only Amul? Well, there were 2 major reasons behind this name. The first reason was that the word Amul came from the Sanskrit word Amulya, which means priceless, and this name was showing the real value of milk and other dairy products. And the second reason was that if you take out the short form of Anand Milk Union Limited, then it also becomes Amulya. But friends, Amul's journey was not that easy, because as soon as Amul's butter was launched, it proved to be a big failure. And the biggest reason for this was Paulson's butter, which was already available in the market at that time. Actually, Paulson's butter was made from old stale cream, which was kept out for a week without refrigeration. And because of this process, the cream became sour, and the taste of Paulson's butter was very different. In addition to this, Paulson used to add a lot of salt to increase the shelf life of his butter, so that its taste became salty. And another big thing was that Paulson's butter was made from cow's milk, so that its color was slightly yellow. And friends, those people were used to yellow and salty Paulson's butter. But when Amul's butter was launched, it was made from fresh cream on the same day, due to which there was no sourness in it. And its taste was also without salt. In addition to this, Amul's butter made from cow's milk was also white in color. And then friends, no one liked Amul's fresh white and saltless butter in front of Paulson. To find a solution to this problem, Amul also started adding salt to his butter. And the company also added a little color to the butter and made it yellow. However, Dr. Verghese Korean did not like this change at all because he always focused on freshness and quality. But gradually he also understood that it is very important for any brand to take care of customer satisfaction and their habits. After these changes, Amul's butter gradually became popular among people, and Amul not only hit Paulson, but also took his place. But friends, behind Amul's success was not only the hand of farmers and Dr. Verghese Korean, but also a lovely girl whom we know as Amul girl. Yes, the same dotted frock girl whom you must have seen on Amul products package. Actually, when Amul's brand name was decided, it did not have a strong identity at that time. But Amul girl fulfilled this deficiency because she not only became the identity of Amul, but also became immortal in Indian advertising history. Because this campaign started in 1966 is still going on today, and it is counted in the world's longest running advertising campaigns. And not only that, the name of this campaign is also recorded in Guinness World Records. But the question is, why did Amul girl become the identity of this brand? Actually, the birth of this iconic character was in response to Paulson's butter girl. At that time, Paulson Butter's identity was a lovely girl whom he called Butter Girl. Dr. Verghese Korean and his team thought that if Paulson can make his identity through his Butter Girl, then Amul can adopt this concept and make it better. And then the advertising professional Sylvester de Cunha and his team presented the idea of Amul girl. And then the buttery advertising campaign started from here. Amul girl presented not only the product but also the daily events and topics in a fun and relevant way. We have come a little ahead in the story. But let's go back to the 1970s when Amul's success brought revolution in Gujarat. In every district, such unions were formed that directly connected milk traders. But Dr. Verghese Korean quickly understood that if all these districts make their own brands and compete with each other, then this will cause harm to everyone. And then to find a solution to this problem, in 1973, the government established the Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation. This federation united the unions of all the districts and gave them a chance to work under the brand name of Amul. After a few years, Paulson, which was once the butter king in the Indian market, gradually became weak. And the big reason behind this was the government policies. In fact, the government decided that the dairy industry would be operated entirely through cooperative organizations. But the biggest impact of this new policy was on private companies, especially on Paulson. Paulson could not adjust with these new rules and eventually had to close his business. Meanwhile, Dr. Verghese Korean started Operation Flood in India, which is also known as the White Revolution. This was the world's largest dairy development program, through which milk was collected from villages and supplied to different parts of the country. This initiative was so successful that India became the world's largest milk producer. And friends, Amul not only made farmers financially strong, but also delivered fresh and high-quality dairy products to customers. Meanwhile, Amul was also continuously expanding its product portfolio. For example, in the 1980s, Amul also stepped into the segment of cheese and ice cream, which further increased its reach. Amul's popularity in the 80s and 90s was so high that its fake products were also coming to the market. Because many scammers started selling Amul's label on bad quality products. To deal with this problem, Amul took strict legal action, added holograms and unique quotes to its packaging, and launched large-scale campaigns to make consumers aware. Amul butter is not butter. Amul butter is real butter. Despite these challenges, Amul never stopped its expansion. For example, in the 1990s, Amul launched products like flavored milk. Also, in the 2000s, Amul Cool, Masti Buttermilk, and Amul Pro were brought to the market. By 2010, Amul also included ready-to-eat and dairy-based desserts in its portfolio. And with the help of its vast product portfolio, it also gained a strong hold in the urban market as well as in remote areas of the village. This was the result of Amul's hard work and determination that in the financial year of 2010 to 11, it crossed the milestone of $2 billion sales turnover. Exactly 10 years after this, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit India, the Indian economy suffered a loss of more than 10 rupees lakh crores. Many billion-dollar industries were in trouble at this time, and the dairy industry was also one of them. Due to this crisis, India's milk producers were suffering a loss of 112 rupees crores every day. But even in that difficult time, Amul was the only legendary company that not only minimized its losses, but also increased its revenue to 700 rupees crores. In fact, Amul noticed that although the demand for restaurants and hotels had diminished during the pandemic, the consumption of milk products had increased. In addition, due to the pandemic, people shifted to packaged milk instead of open milk. And then Amul accepted all these chances with both hands. Now friends, if we talk about Amul today, then its supply chain is very big and well organized. Amul has a total of 18,700 societies that manage the collection and distribution of milk. In addition, 5,000 milk tankers deliver milk to 200 chilling stations every day. In addition to this, there are 10,000 distributors who deliver products to retailers in the irrespective areas. And there are more than 1 million retailers who deliver Amul products to consumers. Today, Amul has a direct connection with more than 36 lakh farmers. And apart from India, Amul is exporting its dairy products to more than 50 countries. But friends, in the end, I just want to say that Amul is not just a dairy brand, but it is the story of the hard work and struggle of those lakhs of farmers who work hard every day to make their family's future better. If you find this video informative, make sure to like, share, and also subscribe for more interesting topics.